Alright, today we're talking about the sun. So I've drawn here a rough drawing of what the sun would look like if we could cut it in half and check out its layers. So let's zoom all the way into the center of the sun, where the core is in the very center, fusing hydrogen into helium. So here's our core. This is our densest layer. The weight of all of the layers above it, smush it into this dense core where hydrogen fuses to helium to produce energy. And as you move away from the core, you get to the radiative zone, and it just radiates through radiation, or direct contact in a way. It radiates outward the energy from that fusion. As you go further out, you're going to get to what's called the convection zone. So the convective zone, or convection zone, takes this radiated heat and transfers it by flow, hot rising, cool sinking, outward towards the surface of the sun. Then you go further out to the atmosphere of the sun. You have the photosphere, which is the visible layer. Go further, you get the chromosphere, which is the layer directly above the photosphere. It often looks colorful when blocked. When the photosphere is blocked by our solar eclipses, you can see the chromosphere, and it's very, very colorful. And then the outermost layer, if we go all the way out, is the corona, which is usually not visible except during a solar eclipse. But we do know that the corona is the hottest portion of the sun. So those are your layers of the sun. Now let's slide over here and look at the sun as a whole from the surface. So if we're looking at it from the surface, we can see different things happening on the surface. The dark spots are called sunspots. They're cooler than the rest of the sun's surface, and they have a cycle. So you have a solar maximum when there are many sunspots, and a solar minimum when there are the least sunspots, and that's sometimes called the SARS cycle. So then we have solar flares, which are eruptions from the sun, and they just go outward. Not to be confused with our solar prominences that arc back towards the surface. So our prominence is an arc that connects back to the surface. Solar flare just erupts outward. Now, always going outward would be our solar wind, and that just is from the heat blast. It blasts heat outward, blowing everything away from the sun. Sort of like when you open an oven and it's really hot, you can actually feel the heat blast you in the face. Well, the sun is always doing that in our solar system.